Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode on the Bodybuilding News Network. As always, I am your host, Saunch. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Now, in today's episode, we're going to be watching and breaking down and covering the 2022 Boston Pro in the Men's Open Bodybuilding division. We're going to be talking about the complete lineup and maybe even a little bit of my predictions leading into the show approximately 4 days out. Very exciting. So if you're interested, stay tuned. If not, thank you so much for checking out the channel. I'll see you in another video. But if you are still here, ladies and gentlemen, we have genuinely, this is going to be a fantastic show. We have so many big names here, which is really surprising. What I thought was going to be, somewhat of a smaller entry show, tier 2 show leading into the 2022 competitive IFBB Pro season. The Boston Pro and their team have really put up a great lineup for the show. Douglas Fruchey, we've had him on this channel for an interview. Fantastic gentleman, fantastic man. We've also had Phil Clahar. He's also been on this channel for an interview. So both of those athletes are going to be here. We have Regan Grimes, natespear making his pro debut in the Men's Open. He just turned pro in the NPC, one of the nasty Nate, one of those guys that's been killing it for years and is finally getting his chance in the Pro Tour. Justin Rodriguez, fresh off the Arnold Classic. Justin Maki, one of my favorite physiques, a beautiful flowing physique. Didn't have a very good, in my opinion, for placing wise, 2021 season, but I'm very excited to see. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about him. I love this Maki guy, so I'm really excited to see what he's got in store for us for the Boston Pro and for the rest of the season. Fabio Rezende, from winning the Amateur Arnold in 2020, making his pro debut in the 2022 Arnold Classic, placing last place, but for a pro debut coming into the second largest bodybuilding show in the world, I think he did very well. And we also have Samson Dauda, Steve Kuclo, and a couple other gentlemen to include Regan Grimes. So great lineup, but let's go ahead and just get right into it. Number one, not in this order, just on the scorecard, Douglas Fruchey. So based off of my records, the last time we saw Douglas compete, he's been doing a lot of fantastic physique updates and really in-depth training videos on his Instagram. He's been working out of Gold's Venice in Venice Beach, California. He's been working with who's the who's the fake natty guy? I can't even think of his name right now, but anyways, phenomenal guy, the Titan. He's been working with him a lot, doing a lot of cool content. So Douglas Fruchey, the last time we saw him was at the 2021 Texas Pro. He placed 10th in that lineup. And, this is going to be a relatively star-studded lineup. So there's going to be a good chance for Douglas to make improvements from his 2021 physique. Those were, I believe this was his debut, or it was his year of debut, because he won that Mexico Super Show in I think it was early 2021, around like early summer, and then rolled right into a pro card show in Texas. So we're looking forward to seeing him on stage. He's been posting, like I said, lots of great physique updates on Instagram, to include just, the one snippet that I'm putting here. But as always, what we do here on BNN, the athletes come first. Their descriptions or their links are in the description of this video. So check out the athletes, support the athletes. If you want to see an athlete on this show in an interview, let me know. I would be happy to get back into doing some interviews, but overall, expect Douglas to be doing a phenomenal job. He brings great conditioning. The only critique I'd say I have for him, and I'm sure he knows this isn't news to him, is I thought that he looked a little shallow in the lower back department. So if he could bring that up, or if he did bring that up, I think that's going to do him wonders. And then also in this the back double, I think he could do better to emphasize the hamstring separation. They look a little washed out for how absolutely shredded his glutes are. So my nitpicking there, but Nevertheless, that's kind of my thoughts there. But Douglas, best of luck, man. Next up on the scorecard is Eslam Mohamed. And the last time we saw Eslam Mohamed was when Hunter Labrada won the Chicago Pro, the 2021 Chicago Pro. Eslam, I'm not sure that's how you say it, Eslam, placed 13th in the men's open bodybuilding division. And honestly, probably one of the best developed legs we're going to see in this lineup. But he did lack a little bit of separation in the arms. I'd like to see just a little bit more development in the rest of the body. I feel he's really strong in the lower body, and even from the back, the lower body is overshadowing the upper body. So if he made those adjustments, I think he could do well at this show. He can make improvements from 13th place. I don't know if there's 13 competitors, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. There is 13 competitors, so I think he could do better than 13th at this show. But Eslam Mohamed, best of luck, brother. Do well. We're looking forward to seeing how you do at this show. And we have, we already talked about Fabio Rezende, or Rezende. He'll be doing this show as well, rolling fresh off the Arnold Classic. Expect to see similar physique from him. But like I said, last time we saw him was at the Arnold Classic, the 2022 Arnold Classic, just last weekend. I thought he looked phenomenal. He just really got, outshined, oversized. He didn't have as much muscle as he needed. If we're nitpicking, I think he could have come in just a little bit sharper. The upper body looked a little washed out. So just a little bit harder, a little bit leaner, maybe 5% more. But if we're talking about the lower body, I mean, Fabio did a fantastic job with the glutes. Although they're not huge, they are defined. You can see the cross featherings. The hamstrings are very dug out, very defined. And the calves are very shredded as well. So if he can match the development and conditioning of the lower body with the upper body, I think we have a good show lined up for us. So best of luck, Fabio. We're looking forward to seeing how you do at the Boston Pro. Justin Maki, we talked about him just a little bit earlier. I'm not going to say man crush, but one of my favorite physiques between him and Jason Lowe. Love Jason Lowe, 212 guy. Love 212. Really bummed out that 212's not here. But Justin Maki, the last time we saw him was in the Tampa Pro. I think it's what it was. Tampa Pro. He didn't do too well. I think he got bottom of the second call out. And if we look at these photos, these aren't the best photos. He's come in better conditioning. But I did want to do the most recent show just to be fair across the board. Amazing legs, huge, massive quads, the sweep, and even with the teardrops, great development. I think he has enough muscle. It's just bringing the muscle in the right condition. He's going to need more separation than this. But again, I think he missed the mark quite a bit on this show. And even with the glutes, you can see kind of like the saggy lines in the bottom. So definitely not his best showing at that Tampa show, but we're expecting to see an improved version of that, especially if we look at some of these physique updates he's been sharing. I mean, already he looks like he's in better shape. So we're looking forward to seeing it. He's about 10 days out in these photos, and we can see a little bit of the folding in the glutes in the bottom, but we'll see. I'm sure most of that's going to go away once he depletes the carbs just a little bit more, starts really hitting it with the good stuff. So best of luck, Justin Maki. Again, one of those guys I've been looking forward to seeing him get back on the stage. Like him and Douglas are two of those guys that I'd really like to see. Man, I'm just like a fanboy on this episode. This is a good lineup. Justin Rodriguez, gosh, the way his physique changed from prejudging to finals at the Arnold Classic, I was just so heartbroken. I had him battling for second place, second and third, coming out of prejudging. I'm going to pull these photos up so I can look at them, but just the gnarly conditioning, the 3D freakiness, the fullness of his physique. I mean, probably the best version of Justin we've seen to date. I would say from the back, he didn't have a lot of separation with the hamstrings and the glutes. I'd like to see more separation there. And the midsection is one of the parts where he gets beat up the most on, because he has a more traditionally larger, blocky midsection. But I think he does a good job at hiding it, just the way he presents his front double and the way he presents his physique. So expect to see Justin, in my opinion, potentially battling for the win here. I think I'll save my predictions to the end, or maybe even another video. But Justin is going to do amazing in this show. If he can just master his peak the way that he did for breach edging for the whole show, because it's just going to be a one-day show, I believe. So he just needs to nail it right once, and he's golden. He's going to go for that gold. So Justin, we all want to see you succeed. We all want you to master that peak, get that gold. Treat this show like you did at Indy last year, where you won. Come into the Boston excited, ready to win, and we all want to see you succeed, man. So best of luck to Justin at the Boston Pro. Natespear pro debut. For some, maybe I'm naive, but I thought Natespear was going to roll right into 212. But I'm assuming, just looking at these photos, I'm guessing he's a big boy. He's probably got a lot of weight, a lot of muscle on that frame, and that's why he's rolling right into the open. And he was a heavyweight, so that checks out. That makes sense that he wasn't going to make those weight cuts. But overall, Natespear, he's one of those guys known for his conditioning, his consistency. Over the last 3 years, I think I saw him at the national level in the NPC, either the USA Championships or the actual nationals. One of those guys, very consistent, great flowing physique, tiny midsection. I always thought he looked short, so we'll see how he compares against these open guys. But traditionally for bodybuilders, they're only like 5'6", 5'8", so I don't think he's too much shorter than the other guys. But we will see. We'll see how he compares against some of these other bigger names. See him stand next to someone like a Kuclo or Rodriguez. We'll see how he lines up, and that'll be a good indicator to see what he's going to be doing the rest of the season. So Natespear, looking forward to your pro debut, brother. Do well, do great things, and we're all excited to see you succeed in whatever capacity that means for you, man. We're just excited. Phil Clahar, my brother Phil. This guy, I feel like I'm fanboying this whole video, but Phil, in my opinion, got robbed at the Texas last year. They put him in third behind Ian and Steve Kuclo, and I thought, in my opinion, the way his separation was, his conditioning, the musculature, the fullness, I think he should have been ahead of Steve Kuclo. Now, I know that's water under the bridge at this point, but redemption arc, Phil Clahar and Steve Kuclo are both at the Boston Pro. So they're both going to have that chance to compete against each other again. Steve coming off of a hot third place finish, although it's third place back-to-back for the Arnolds 2021 and 2022. Considerably more conditioned this year than last year. So he's going to have a better chance of comparing against a Phil Clahar's conditioning instead of using his traditional big structure. So we're going to get a much closer comparison between Phil Clahar and Steve Kuclo, as Steve has given up that size game. Now, maybe if he carbs up this week, tries to put those 10 pounds back on, I don't know, but I don't think that would be a good strategy for Steve Kuclo. And I don't want to see that. I want to see the two guys get shredded, fight against each other. I think that'd be good. Good stage one. But Phil Clahar, man, I want to see you in this top three. I want to see you battling for the title, Boston Pro Champ. So I know you're going to bring it. You always bring it. You are Mr. Consistency. So Phil Clahar, best of luck at the Boston Pro, brother. We're very excited to see you back on the stage, man. It's been a while since Texas Pro, so you've left us off the stage long enough. So we're excited to see you, man. Regan Grimes, man, Regan Grimes. That's such a bummer. People knock on this guy so much, but he really does have an amazing physique. It seems that he didn't hit the mark in Ohio at the Arnold Classic as much as he did at the KO Squad Pro in Egypt last year, where he won. So if him and his coach and his team, they can kind of refine it a little bit better and kind of figure out what they need to do to bring a more conditioned Regan Grimes, I think that's going to serve him a lot better than coming in with that freaky, bubbly, full look. As I feel that the judges have seen bubbly and full from him, and historically they haven't been rewarding it. So that would be my 2 cents if he wants to hear it. I'm sure he doesn't since I'm nobody, but Regan Grimes is going to be there fresh off Arnold Classic. Somewhat of a disappointment, I'm sure, to him, but I'm sure he's going to be looking to redeem himself. Although he is qualified, might as well hop in another show since you're fresh off of a prep. Samson Dauda, absolutely flabbergasted by his placements. I thought he really shocked the world and myself. I have consistently and historically said that Samson is undersized for the 212, but he put my shaker bottle right in my mouth based off of just how big and full he looked next to Steve Kuclo. The third to fourth comparison between those two I thought was well deserved. I'm very happy for Samson, very happy for the hostile team. I know that they're very happy with how everything's going so far. Samson is definitely going to be in the conversation battling for this 1 through 4. Is he going to have what it takes to beat out a conditioned Justin Rodriguez? I don't know. I don't think him and Phil Clahar stood next to each other, so I think that's going to be a good comparison. And then also seeing, we already talked about Clahar versus Kuclo. So Samson, excited, man. I was so happy when I watched you at the Arnold UK. That was such a good showing for you. I thought it was an absolute robbery that you didn't win the best poser for the Arnold Classic. I don't know what kind of things that they were consuming, but it was an atrocity that Curry got best poser. And that's just my opinion. And I'm going to say it because that's my opinion. Anywho, Samson, best of luck at the Boston Pro. Steve Kuclo, I'm not a hater. Love the guy. Out of Texas. Love Texas. America. Freedom. Eagles with machine guns. Love this guy. Big physique. I'm a big guy. He's a big guy. I like it. Conditioning wise, I like the strategy. I like the move that they did for Arnold Classic. I liked that Steve Kuclo and his team decided to go smaller, more conditioned than the traditional big, full, bubbly Steve Kuclo. So if they continue to do that and bring that conditioning, I think it's going to spell out victory in some capacity for them. Expect him to be in that top 3, probably battling for the win after his top 3 placing at the Arnold Classic. Now, the last guy, apologies, couldn't find his Instagram, but Surachai Plangaiem will be making his pro debut at the Boston Pro. The last time we saw him was at the 2020 Muscle Contest Tokyo. I do apologize, not a lot of great photos coming out of that show. This one hand clasped most muscular crab was the only good photo I could get from that show. But if we're going to dissect this photo, it looks like he does have some big legs. So really hard to tell where he's going to land in this one. But hey, best of luck, man. If any of you have Mr. Surachai's, not Sriracha, Surachai's Instagram, please comment below. I will tag it and I'll feature you in the next video. Ladies and gentlemen, as of recording this video, William Bonac and Max Charles have both announced that they will be competing at the Boston Pro, which completely turns this show into the mini Arnold Classic. Lots of hype is going to start going into this show. I'm already super excited for it. Some of my favorite athletes are here to include that's not a word, to include a majority of the Arnold Classic lineup, especially when we start looking at the top 6. So very excited with the William Bonac announcement. Definitely going to be a shoe-in for battling it out for the 1 or 2 position. Now, that doesn't say that it's going to be a walk in the park. but I definitely think that William Bonac is the favorite after that blatant robbery at the Arnold Classic. Max Charles did not get a very good look at the Arnold Classic. He was in the bottom of that second call out, but historically, Max Charles is a top 6 competitor at these smaller tier 2 shows. So no disrespect to the Boston Pro. Obviously, it is what it is. So we'll see where Max Charles is going to land, but expect William Bonac to be landing in that 1 and 2 spot. Ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude the my initial video for the Men's Open for the 2022 Boston Pro. Thank you so much for watching another episode on the Bodybuilding News Network. I genuinely had a lot of fun with this video. It's been a good day. So have a good day as well. Enjoy yourself. If you guys want to check out any of my affiliates, you can check out Galaxy Labs, which is an awesome Wisconsin-based small supplement company. Great pricing on isolates, DMAA pre-workouts, multivitamins, omegas, all the good stuff. I think I get a 10% code, so you can use Saunch. Use code Saunch at checkout, but hopefully we have some more coming out in the near future for sponsorships. Ninja Viking, cool clothing company. Check it out. Fun stuff. Very affordable lifting shoes if you don't want to spend $90 on some rider wear shoes, you know. But that's it. Subscribe, follow the athletes in the description of the video. Follow them. That's the main point. Forget everything else. Follow them. And I'll see you guys in the next one. My name's Saunch. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. I like having fun at the end of the videos. See ya.